Well, let's talk about your own career because you make this deviation. You actually wrote a series of books that took down the ruling establishment and they made you pay for it.
Um, I don't know about that actually. I did was very open-eyed when I wrote when I when I left the Daily Telegraph. I discovered they were. I'd written a very long investigation, taken me ages to expose the way that Muslim senior Muslim figures in our country were having their bank accounts just taken away from them without any reason given. I discovered this by chance, and it was outrageous. It's a bit like having, you can't survive without a bank account. And I couldn't get it published at the Daily Telegraph, and I assumed, and I was furious about it, and then I discovered that it was because one of the advertisers, the HSBC Bank, it was one of the was closing the bank accounts, and they were a major advertiser, and so I resigned. Now, what do I expect? I'm not going to be. And then I had another problem when Boris Johnson became leader of became prime minister. He was lying. He was as bad as Donald Trump, and I wrote about that. And of course, I couldn't get that in the British mainstream right-wing papers at all. And that I wrote a book about Johnson's lies and the collaboration, the complicity, the client journalism. You can only lie if people are there to protect you in the media and to pass on your lies. And that was the end of my career. I haven't been able to clamber back on board, not that I want to anymore, the British mainstream media or the BBC. I can't do that anymore. I write for Middle East Eye, which is a fantastic website in the Middle East. It's so interesting. And I write for Declassified a bit, which is, I'm sure you're aware of it. It's a very interesting website, which...
They're both great. I just interviewed David Hurst, yeah.
And David Hurst is fantastic, isn't he? The editor-in-chief. I'm very lucky. I feel myself very lucky. I'm not quite as well off. Chris, if you write a column in my heyday for the Daily Telegraph or the Daily Mail, you're quite well paid. Not massive, but you're comfortable. And nowadays I have to scrape by, but I can't tell you how much happier I am.